Section 32 of Library of the World's Best Literature, Ancient and Modern, Volume 1. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Nicholas James Bridgewater. Library of the World's Best Literature, Ancient and Modern, Volume 1, Section 32. Selected poem by Alcman. Alcman, 7th century BC. According to legend, this illustrious Grecian lyric poet was born in Lydia, and taken to Sparta as a slave when very young, but emancipated by his master on the discovery of his poetic genius. He flourished probably between 670 and 630, during the peace following the Second Messenian War. It was that remarkable period in which the Spartans were gathering poets and musicians from the outer world of liberal accomplishment to educate their children, for the Dorians thought it beneath the dignity of a Dorian citizen to practice these things themselves. His poetic remains indicate a social freedom at this period hardly in keeping with the Spartan rigour alleged to have been practised without break from the ancient time of Lycurgus. Perhaps this communal asceticism was really a later growth, when the camp of militant slaveholders saw their fibre weakening under the art and luxury they had introduced. He boasts of his Epicurean appetite with evident truthfulness, as a considerable number of his extant fragments are descriptions of dishes. He would have echoed Sidney Smith's "Fate cannot harm me, I have dined today." In a poem descriptive of spring, he laments that the season affords but a scanty stock of his favourite viands. The Alexandrian grammarians put Alcman at the head of the lyric canon, perhaps partly because they thought him the most ancient, but he was certainly much esteemed in classic times. Aelian says his songs were sung at the first performance of the Gymnopaedia at Sparta in 665 BC, and often afterward. Much of his poetry was erotic, but he wrote also hymns to the gods, and ethical and philosophic pieces. His Parthenia, which form a distinct division of his writings, were songs sung at public festivals by and in honour of the performing chorus of virgins. The subjects were either religious or erotic. His proverbial wisdom, and the forms of verse which he often chose, are reputed to have been like Pindar's. He said of himself that he sang like the birds, that is, was self-taught. He wrote in the broad Spartan dialect with a mixture of the Iolic, and in various metres. One form of hexameter which he invented was called Alcmanic after him. His poems were comprehended in 6 books. The scanty fragments which have survived are included in Burke's Poetae Lyrici Graeci, 1878. The longest was found in 1855 by M. Mariette, in a tomb near the Second Pyramid. It is a papyrus fragment of 3 pages, containing a part of his hymn to the Dioscuri, much mutilated and difficult to decipher. His descriptive passages are believed to have been his best. The best known and most admired of his fragments is his beautiful description of night, which has been often imitated and paraphrased. Night. Over the drowsy earth still night prevails. Calm sleep the mountain tops and shady vales, the rugged cliffs and hollow glens, the cattle on the hill, deep in the sea, the countless finny race and monster brood, tranquil repose. Even the busy bee forgets her daily toil. The silent wood no more with noisy hum of insect rings, and all the feathered tribes by gentle sleep subdued, roost in the glade and hang their drooping wings. Translation by Colonel Muir. End of section 32. Recording by Nicholas James Bridgewater. Recorded in London, England.